So the creator of Bayonetta has told shippers to disappear. We're going to talk about this. It was a very interesting exchange on social media because a lot of people, I guess, saw themselves represented in Bayonetta. They thought that Bayonetta was an LGBTQ icon. And according to the creator of the series, no, she is not. In fact, she's canonically straight, and you need to get out of here with all of this shipping nonsense. And it's made people so mad that they've written entire articles. Like here's an article on Aftermath telling about the lack of representation in Bayonetta 3. They're very, very upset about it. How could you do this to us? How could you make her straight? Yeah, very, very typical. We've been following this kind of stuff on the channel for a long time, where you have a lot of fans who basically they want to see themselves in media, so they will actually insert their ideology into characters that maybe were never that way to begin with. They're not designed to be that way. They would read between lines that were not there. And I get, if you want to have a headcanon or something like that, but a lot of times they will cross a line and they will demand that the showrunners or studios or creators of these works see things their way. And the Japanese aren't having it. Over here in the West, I can guarantee you, people will be like, well, that's fine if you see yourself represented. In fact, we love representation. It's just that, we're not going to explicitly say it because, whatever. It's Trump's fault. But yeah, they're not having it. And this is why we're seeing, I think, so many interesting situations with translations, getting mangled by shippers. Anime, video games, etc., because they are looking to insert their representation into characters that do not go that way normally. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. If you want even more Clownfish TV, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's moreclownfishtv.com. For less than the cost of a super chat, you can get paywalled content and join the community over there. Thank you very much to our reefers who are making the free videos possible. So let's talk about this. This is coming from toypeople.com. Let's see here, which is a Japanese site, I believe. So game director Hideki Kamiya, is that how you pronounce it? Renowned for titles like Bayonetta and Okami, recently left Platinum Games after over a decade. The original text states he returned to Clover Studio, where he continues to develop an Okami sequel as a director. He recently blew his top on X. An overseas netizen commented on Platinum Games' official X account, boldly declaring Bayonetta to be a symbol for the LGBT community and urging Kamiya's return to direct a sequel. They even directly tagged his account, which understandably infuriated him and quickly became a hot topic. So, Dollar Fuck, I guess, says Bayonetta is an absolute icon. The LGBT especially love the camp frantic combo Angels and Demon Fest. You trash the legend with number 3. Bring Kamiya back and give the fans what they're so thirsty for. Make it the most epic yet. Revisit what made blah, blah, blah. So what sparked the comment? A few days prior, on April 30th, Platinum Games posted for International Dance Day using Bayonetta, a game brimming with dance elements, to promote the occasion and encourage everyone to dance and enjoy life. That's when the overseas netizen jumped in. This is obviously machine translated. The overseas netizen jumped into the comments saying Bayonetta is a representative work for the LGBT community, claiming LGBT fans adore its intense angel and demon elements. Then they slammed Bayonetta 3 as truly disappointing and insisted Kamiya should be brought back to create something amazing like the first 2 games. This comment quickly drew backlash from other people. Many questioned since when Bayonetta became an LGBT symbol, even pointing to official anniversary art that depicts Bayonetta married to Luca and having a child. At least they're not cousins, right? Still calling it an LGBT work after that. What's the deal? After being tagged, Kamiya wasted no time retweeting the comment, bluntly telling the user to get lost, idiot. While he is famously outspoken, using such strong language on social media is considered extremely offensive for a Japanese person, making this quite a serious outburst. He's probably getting tired of it. I think a lot of people in Japan are getting tired of it. Although this overseas account doesn't seem to have much social media interaction beyond a few comments on Platinum Games' post, Ashley tagging him in and getting a fiery response. Yeah, getting flamed was pretty much inevitable. Of course, this doesn't represent the views of the entire LGBT community, but slapping the label on it just makes things awkward, right? That's, again, this is their very weirdly translated take on it. Pirate Nation has it. The fan described Bayonetta as an absolute legend. He said, "Idiot, disappear." And some of the replies here, Krovac says, "Don't you love it when delusional people think they know better than the person who actually made the thing?" Yeah, this happens a lot. And it happens a lot with, again, certain kinds of people, the shipping community, especially. You have to give them their ship or, you're a horrible person. Incredibly based. If Western game devs would stand up for their games like this, we wouldn't get the DEI flop after flop. This mentally ill cult always claims certain characters or LGBTQ whatever. The one who claimed Bayonetta and Genie is probably a Delulu male lesbian. What? Too bad Bayonetta and Lucas ship is canon, says Rappy. The original tweet didn't even say she was a queer icon. She said she's an icon. LGBT people especially love the camp frantic combo. Maybe something got lost in the translation. Idiot, disappear. Bro woke up today and chose violence. Wow, here's another one. Hey, you're pissing me off. And he said, "Don't come near me, you scum of society." Wow. Science Storm says, I will never like when shippers try to tell the creator what their vision is supposed to be. Like, if you don't shut your delusional ass up, I wish more IPs tell toxic shippers to F off. Bro really said it. Wow. This is literal idiot genocide. If you think this is fun, you're play Bayonetta, you have idiot blood on your hands. Based as usual from an MVP in Japan. And God, these fake ass fans are so R-worded and delusional. Yeah, this is very, very common. And again, we've talked, at length about shippers coming into fandoms, ruining fandoms, demanding things of games. A lot of times they demand things from media that they don't even consume because they like the fan art or there's a cosplayer they like that thinks a certain thing about a game. You know what I'm saying? Or a streamer. So they start making demands of the company and then they don't buy the thing anyway. I think we're kind of seeing this in real time now with a lot of tabletop games, especially where you've got to have, baristas and barbarians. Oh, we're not going to buy the new edition anyway. Thanks so much for changing that, though. If I ever get some money, I might give you a couple of bucks, but right now dice are too expensive. So yeah, it's ridiculous. You listen to your actual customers. And this is one thing I do agree with Disney. I know people think Disney's not listening to their customers. They actually do to some degree. You have to actually be a paying theme park visitor to go to guest relations. Like you have to pay to be a guest, which isn't really being a guest, I guess, since you're paying to be there. But you go to guest relations when you're inside the park, when you've already paid for a ticket, and then you can lodge your complaints. They will listen to those complaints above the complaints of random people on the internet. But yeah, it's funny though. There's like entire articles. Like I didn't even realize that this was such a big ass deal that they've got entire manifestos about why this was such a huge mistake for Bayonetta. So spoiler, I guess they both die and go to hell at the end of 3. I have 3. I haven't played through 3 yet though, but they said, yeah, apparently for series creator Hideki Kamiya, this was always how the story was going to go. I just missed the signs. He described the backlash to Bayonetta 3 as perplexing, although I'm just as perplexed that he and the rest of the writers thought fans would be okay with seeing Bayonetta die. No matter what, though, 4 is going to be a very different game. Probably. Yeah. Is there going to be a 4? Are they working on 4? I don't know. But they're really pissed off about... Okay. As a huge fan of the first 2 Bayonetta games, it's hard to feel hopeful for what comes next, even if a completely different creative team is in charge. I don't see a great way to retcon the Adam and Eve framework for Luca and Bayonetta, and it's something that's hard for me to get past. I've always seen Bayonetta as more of an untouchable and unattainable single lady. If she were to end up with a love interest of any gender, I would have pretty much preferred to see a healthier relationship dynamic than the one that Bayonetta 3 presents. There were better ways to write the story of Bayonetta 3. I'm partial to this rewrite done by a Reddit user, but instead we're stuck with the one we got. All I can say is I wish good luck to anybody trying to clean up that mess, make Bayonetta 4 a decent story for a heroine who always deserved better, and still does. She still deserves better than that stinky man. Yeah, so I think it's funny. I think the Japanese really need to push back. I think they're going to push back more because of having direct access to Western audiences now via AI and via social media, and everything that happened on Twitter with the Japanese actually seeing our tweets and vice versa, I think was a huge eye-opener for Japan, especially for creatives who trusted these California localization companies or studios or whatever to do right by them, and they really weren't doing right by them at all. So we'll see what happens, but there we go. I guess be mad about Bayonetta. I don't care. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.